the tides will break. With blades and glory and treasure in hand, they rule the waves, the scourge of the land. By his side his first mate gears, a goblin so sly, with a mind full of madness and a glint in his eye. He's rigged up the cannons with a devilish grin, and laughs as the powder sparks battle to begin. Then there's Lucky Goldentail, a healer so keen, a dog with a heart bigger than you've ever seen. With potions and laughter he mends every scar, but steals every peg leg from the fallen in war. Yo-ho, the seas will quake, for the maiden sails and the tides will break. With blades and glory and treasure in hand, they rule the waves, the scourge of the land. Now Jupiter Blackblade, a swordsman supreme, with reflexes sharp and a blade like a dream. A cat cloaked in shadows, his strike swift and true. No enemy stands when Jupiter's in view. Through tempests and gales, through battles so grim, the maiden's crew sings as they claim every win. From Kraken's deep maw to rival king's fleets, the legend grows louder with every defeat. From the Isle of Whispers to Blood Cove's black shore, they've plundered and battled, left legends in store. The Hurricane King, he watches with dread, for Wilhelm's red sails bring the promise of dread. The maiden's guns roared in the siege of the spire, and gears lit the fuse that set the sky fire. While Jupiter struck down 10 men with one blade, Lucky laughed as their foes' peg legs were filled. Yo-ho, the seas will quake, for the maiden sails and the tides will break. With blades and glory and treasure in hand, they rule the waves, the scourge of the land. So here's to the crew of the Mischief's pride, the wild seas their playground, the plunder their guide. Raise your cups high to Wilhelm and his kin, the kings of the shackles where legends begin. Yo-ho, the seas will quake, for the maiden sails and the tides will break. With blades and glory and treasure in hand, they rule the waves, the scourge of the land. Oh, gather ye round, and I'll spin ye a tale of the Mischief's maiden and her crew who prevail. With sails kissed by fury and a thirst for the fight, they carve through the shackles by day and by night. At the helm stands the captain, bold Wilhelm by name, Cokenstache the terror with a gun full of flame. He took the maiden in a mutiny's roar, a ship of betrayal, now legend and lore. Yo-ho, the seas will quake, for the maiden sails and the tides will break. With blades and glory and treasure in hand, they rule the waves, the scourge of the land. By his side his first mate gears, a goblin so sly, with a mind full of madness and a glint in his eye. He's rigged up the cannons with a devilish grin, and laughs as the powder sparks battle to begin. Then there's Lucky Goldentail, a healer so keen, a dog with a heart bigger than you've ever seen. With potions and laughter he mends every scar, but steals every peg leg from the fallen in war. Yo-ho, the seas will quake, for the maiden sails and the tides will break. With blades and glory and treasure in hand, they rule the waves, the scourge of the land. like a dream. A cat cloaked in shadows, his strike swift and true. No enemy stands when you beat us in view. Through tempest and...
Moose. A rolling stone catches.
All right, I'll get us over here. Give me just a minute.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Well, we're already over. I was hoping somebody would say something stupid.
Well, I was going to
wow.
say the line from Super Troopers 2. I rather fuck a moose. And then he's like, "You're going to need a ladder to fuck that moose." Well, of course, I'd get that ladder and I'd fuck that moose.
See, we talked about a show that's kind of past its time. Super Troopers 2 came out too long after Super Troopers, so
Yeah,
it
so
lost the pizzazz, you know. Because really, you can't beat, you boys like Mexico, or the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Can't beat that. It's just
I
classic.
blame Rob Lowe.
Yeah, that's fair. You could do that too. But talking about beating things, here we are. It's Tuesday night, and we're playing Pirates, and things are getting interesting as we see how this motley crew does in a more sophisticated political type of situation. So that'll be fun. But before we do that, let's go around the deck here and see how everybody is doing on this wonderful Tuesday. And you know what? We'll start with JT. How are you today, sir?
I'm fantastic. Don't I look and sound fantastic?
Yes.
No.
Always.
Well, good, because I am. So's
You
this
look
cat
more
right here.
fabulous,
Ah,
though. You
cat.
look
Nice.
more fabulous than fantastic.
Got a cat. And anywho, somebody grab a dog. Mine are not in the room with me.
Mine are
dog's
both
not
laying
allowed
down.
upstairs.
Very comfortable, and I don't want to disturb the poor little babies.
My dog's sleeping in his pen.
I can go get the character the dog my character is based off of, but then I'll have to try to carry his 100-pound ass downstairs because he's afraid to go down the stairs, and I don't want to fucking do that.
Kind of funny.
What kind of fucked up dog you got? Retarded dog. Jesus Christ.
He's a golden retriever.
I'd
He
shoot
acts-
that dog.
He ain't retrieving
I'd
shit.
pull a
He
John
can't even
Wick
go
on that
downstairs.
dog.
Hey, he's not allowed upstairs, and my sister taught him how to go upstairs, but he's afraid to go downstairs.
She didn't teach him how to go back down.
I guess so.
I saw a video of a dog that went upstairs.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
I can't.
Wow.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
going to check this out.
I'm really tired. I'm tired.
Well,
Pirates.
talking about
All
golden
right,
retrievers
JT.
and whatnot. Biggles, how are you?
I'm a lot better than last week. And I'm ready to play. I have to figure out how the fuck Lucky's going to act in this party. We'll see as it goes on, but yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
Yeah, we'll go over some fun kind of social rules that I have kind of come up with to see if you guys can raise your infamy at this gathering of like-minded individuals. But yeah, Mega, how are you today?
I'm doing okay. A little tired.
Good,
Haven't had much sleep the past week, but I'm glad to be here, glad to be playing, and ready to see what kind of shenanigans my crew got into while I was away. Gears has been shopping the whole time, so he doesn't know what's going on. So neither do I.
Luckily, nothing too bad. I will say that they didn't get into any trouble, which was good. I expected somebody to maybe get locked up, but you had a couple of your crewmates get locked up for drunk and disorderly, and that's mostly just because they were easy enough for the cops, so to call, the guardsmen here in Port Peril to kind of drag them off to sleep it off. So nothing crazy.
Amateur pirates.
Yeah, and coming around, Captain, how are you feeling this evening?
I am doing fantastic. You know what I did today for the first time since I've owned it? I actually cleaned out my PC, and I need to do that more
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, you
Apparently-
should do it like every week. Every
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Yeah.
apparently that's a thing you have to do. And I did it for the first time since I've owned it, which has been longer than I'd like to admit. And I've learned my lesson.
Okay.
It's just like it's under my desk, and it's like all the cords are back there, and it's just such a hassle. But I guess I'll commit to doing it every week then.
Mine is spotless.
But other than that, I mean, it looks really good now. It almost looks like
There you
new.
go. Probably
But,
runs a little better too.
That remains to be seen, but we'll see. We'll see.
What video
far, I
card you
haven't had-
rocking?
What video card? I am rocking a
49.
1660 Ti. That's what I'm rocking.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you're damn right. Holy
That
shit!
thing still works?
Believe it or not, yeah.
We got to get Moss a fundraiser.
Goddamn right.
Right. Well, glad to hear everybody's excited to be here, and hopefully nobody gets killed or ends up on a different ship after all of these things. But, I guess we might try music tonight. So if you do hear any music, it is provided by Sirenscape, since it is built into Foundry. We'll see if maybe it likes me. I'll see if I can find a good party sound. But we'll look into that
Mariachi music
here later.
Great party music.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I got this playlist on. I need to get that playlist over on this game on Forge here. But yeah,
He's gonna hire a mariachi band to follow him around one day. It'll be
hell
great.
yeah.
If you get a mariachi band, I'll have to get like a bunch of bagpipes and have them battle. Mariachi versus bagpipes.
I don't think I'd ever really want to witness that battle of the bands. That sounds horrible.
Battle of the Biggles.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah. But mostly probably for Mega. Last episode, we left you guys off by arriving to Port Peril, and the group scattered and we did some shopping, met some interesting NPCs, and kind of made some possible connections throughout Port Peril. Found that there was a free captain, who the free captains are, kind of think of the pirate council under the Hurricane King, Kerdek Bone Fist. This free captain, whose name was Bedu. He is the captain of the Semudaraga, and he is having a party where he has uncovered some sort of ancient temple to a long dead god in the jungles, and is kind of having a party to show off all the really cool shit that he brought back. And you managed to steal an invitation to this party. And that is kind of where we are picking up this episode.
Don't forget about the captain's replaceable girlfriend.
Oh, yes. Captain Cokenstache got himself a pocket pussy.
Wait, that's what that was?
Yeah, that's what it was.
So, there were some shenanigans. But yeah,
Captain,
you,
I could raise an undead girl for you. It'd be a lot easier.
I gifted it to you when I figured I shouldn't be enjoying it all by myself. Wait.
I don't want sloppy seconds with that, Captain.
I
That's
haven't
a
used
pass.
it. I haven't used it. No. You know what? You can just throw it overboard if you'd like.
So I want to do just a smidge of retcon before you guys show up to the party, because I feel like what would have happened is, you would have had officers meeting saying, hey, we're going to this party. Maybe Sandra's in charge of the ship or something like that. She looks at all of you and goes, and you're going in what? And I feel like there is a shopping montage of Sandra dressing all of you.
We're gonna need a montage.
And I feel like
Just
maybe
like
it's
Pretty
more
Woman, okay? Super
Yeah.
sexy.
that and Anchorman, where they all jump in the air
Yeah.
to go buy new suits, kind of thing. So you guys come out looking rather dashing.
What does
There's
my
a
outfit look
perfectly-
like?
I feel like yours is probably one of those little sailor outfits they put on dogs.
Okay, I'll do it. I got it. I'm in the zone.
You know,
I polished
Captain,
my gears.
you stopped by a carpenter and he, smoothed out and put a little bit of stain on the peg leg, and you guys are looking pretty good for a band of rowdy pirates.
I got me a new eye patch too. This one's studded.
Nice. Is there anything you would like to do with the few hours you have before the party?
I don't have any formulas for them, and I don't know if they are formulas within Pathfinder, but I would like to see if I might be able to craft maybe some fireworks.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a crafting roll.
I feel like
Follow,
I would probably have all the materials or most of the materials on the ship anyway.
Go ahead and roll me a d10. We'll say that I was going to give you a little bit of a bonus for rolling so high on the crafting. So I'll say you've crafted like 5 solid fireworks. Ones that will launch themselves in the air and create a nice little showering cascade of colorful fireworks. So you got 5 of those, which is pretty solid.
Nice.
And yeah, let me see if I have good music real quick for this because I wasn't sure.
Oh, you know what, JJ? I'm just doing a window capture. So if you send me the link, the Sirenscape link, I can make a new source to make sure that stream can hear it.
Can I do that off of? I don't. Okay, well, we'll have to worry about that later then, because I don't know if I can do that off of the Forge connected one in Foundry.
I feel like that's my outfit.
But yes,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I cannot believe we let this one be in our crew sometimes.
Put that in the Smoke and Barrel chat on the Tales of the Dragon Tavern Discord.
Oh
We'll
my
never be
God.
One that
taken
everybody sees.
seriously if we go this route, Captain.
But you guys arrive at the Bedu Manor.
It's adorable.
As sun is setting, and the gates are open. Before you guys are walking up. You guys come in behind a nice wooden carriage that kind of goes over to the side here, where you can see the stables. And there's a couple other carriages kind of in this open area. And there are 3 people standing by the gates. 2 look like town's guard. They have pikes. They're in leather armor. They have kind of the symbol of port peril. And then there's one gentleman who seems to be checking tickets. And you guys are next in line. He goes, tickets, please. Invitations.
Yarr! I whip it out of my breast pocket and present it to him.
Ah, yes. And who may we be announcing on your
Oh,
entrance?
you got yourself an announcer.
Of course.
I'll puff out my chest.
Captain Wilhelm Cokenstache, captain of the Mischief's Maiden.
Ah, Wilhelm Cokenstache. And are these your officers or just your crew?
They are officers of the highest regard.
Good. Well, and you can see there are a mingling of other pirates and stuff. And he goes, we will be announcing entrances here shortly. When someone will come find you, Captain Cokenstache, upon your entry. Please, for now, hang out in the front foyer and we'll get you into the party soon.
Yarr.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna go over
didn't
here.
get to say who I was. I was going to say I'm
See if there's
Gears,
any coins in there.
defiler of mothers, keeper of the sacred tide.
I am Lucky Golden Tail, the one who goes like this with the boat steering wheel.
Good God. I'm over this dog already.
I would like everybody to make me perception checks as you enter Bedu Manor.
All right, I have a question.
Oh,
Is
come
that
on.
Yes.
is that a
God.
fountain?
It is a fountain. It is a fountain, a lovely, beautiful fountain that kind of goes up in this stone piece, and it looks as if mermaids are holding the sun on all four sides, and they emanate a lovely glow.
How does this
Uh,
dumb dog always roll so good?
I kind of want to drink out of the fountain.
I would like to
Yeah.
inspect the fountain for coins.
You can roll me. Let's go with for coins. Let's go with a seek action. And yeah, you go over and drink out of the fountain, and you kind of look to the left of you, and there is a regular dog. It looks like maybe a great hound, also drinking from said fountain.
I smell its butt.
And it kind of it gives you the toothy smile for a moment, and then sort of huffs at you and then walks away.
I don't know if that dog
Uh,
was friendly, but it didn't smell like
How
bad.
did, how did I roll 2 12s in a row?
Because you're captain.
You don't find any, you don't see any coin. I mean, this thing is pristine. Same with the hedges. There are exotic flowers poking out from them, ones you've never even seen. Some seem to be alive. There's like a Venus flytrap that looks like if Lucky got too close, he could possibly get swallowed. There's a bench kind of surrounding the fountain, and there's probably about 4 or 5. They look between pirates and or maybe kind of higher class noble figures of the town, kind of waiting in this area, mingling about. Most of them are keeping to themselves at this moment. But then a gentleman will come up to you, a halfling, a gentleman dressed tuxedo tie, and goes, yes, are you Captain Wilhelm Cokenstache?
Yar.
We are ready for your announcement. If you will follow me this way, and you and your crew, officers.
I get third in line behind Gears and Cokenstache, Captain. And me first.
And
mate.
he does a knock at the door, and it opens up. And he, as you enter, he says, announcing the arrival of Wilhelm Cokenstache, captain of the Mischief's Maiden, and his, would you like admirable officers, or what was the word you used? He kind of leans in.
Officers of the highest regard.
Officers of the highest regard. And you can see, obviously, I didn't fill this with tokens, but there is probably about 4 or 5 people at each of the tables here. There is a huge spread of food. You see 2 giant casks of ale. You see in the corner there are a few pirates with their legs up, cigars in the mouths. There are 2 fireplaces and stairs that seem to go up to a second floor. Doors here. Another person by the door here next to Wilhelm, attendant, comes over and says, is there any jackets or anything you would like to leave in the coat closet?
I give it my little sailor hat, and I said, can you take good care of my hat?
Of course, sir. And he gives you a little ticket with a number on it. And he says, when you go to leave, just bring that by and we will retrieve your items.
Thank you. I put it in my pocket.
I'll ask him.
There is,
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, no. Go where you're going to.
I'll ask him.
What's the dress code here? Strictly formal.
Oh, of course. Your best and brightest jewelries, your finest clothing. You all look like you're doing well off for yourselves. And he kind of gives you an eye up and goes, if you are asking if I think you fit out of place, well, you are not probably going to be the best well-dressed, but acceptable.
Well, under my jacket here, I cut the sleeves off of me shirt just in case there was need for a gun show or something. So I'll just keep the jacket. Thank you.
Ah, yes. Weapons are permitted in the house here. We try to keep the killings to a minimum. Master Bedeau hates to see more than 2 people dragged out of his parties. If
Master
if at
Bedeau.
all.
Yes,
Of
Shoot the
which
dog.
party we're at, Captain.
Master
He
Bedeau.
might be a captain on the seas, but he is the master here. And it shouldn't be too much longer. Please grab some refreshments, a drink, anything you would like. And you can see that there are, well, Jupiter, you might recognize a few of the girls from the Siren's Lash. They are kind of walking around, exchanging pleasantries and that. And there is a kind of a band, it looks like. There's a couple instruments kind of right by the stairs over here. At the moment, there is just one a very pretty half-elven bard kind of just singing a very nice, lovely tune to kind of set the mood. So now that we are here and there are a handful of people being just kind of moseying about, how this is going to work is this will be a chance for you guys to raise your infamy levels by partaking in such an event. There are 4 skill checks you can use. Tell you, where you hit until you decide which ones you're going to roll. Diplomacy, history, sailing, and intimidation. General skill rolls, all except for this. If you want to try to use another skill, give me a good reason, and if it fits what's happening or something you have done, then we can use that. But for those will kind of be the general ones. At one point, each of you will get a chance to roll one of those 4 skills, and either gain infamy or whatnot will happen based on that. Probably towards the end, when we think that the party is kind of coming to an end, we'll have everybody roll those. And maybe the Mischief's Maiden becomes more infamous after meeting such high rollers and kind of nudging elbows with some of the elite here in Port Peril.
If we brought jacketed potatoes, we'd become more infamous, that's for sure.
Question. I don't see a
yeah.
history course skill.
That's an inside joke.
We might have to change it.
Do you mean society? Or
Yeah, we'll do society.
Okay.
Sorry, it's my old
Society, sailing, and what?
diplomacy.
And you said intimidation
you-
too.
You can use intimidation as well, yes.
Sorry.
And there are a few figures. You see 6 people that look like maybe they are captains, for they are all a little more boisterous in their outfits. I can see JT has made his mouse over to a beautiful red-haired lady with her feet up. She's dressed exactly like that. Her feet up are on a table. She's got a cigar in her mouth, and a huge mug of ale is sloshing around a little bit.
Where's my frog when I need him?
There is also a catfolk gentleman who seems to kind of just be leaning against near the fireplace, but has a tricorn hat and has a lot of the accoutrements that you see on captains. There is also a human, a little bit of a portly fellow, but same thing, kind of tricorn hat, similar to what they're all wearing. Then there is a gnome who is not wearing a tricorn hat, but has a nice long trench coat and has kind of like a little feather cap, and seems to be mingling a lot with everybody, and sort of seems to be the most active that you can tell at the moment. There seems to be a halfling who is also very social, and you can see kind of bouncing around to tables as you spend a couple moments. And then there is a half-orc, a tall, kind of burly fellow with an eye patch who is just kind of devouring food, really in no sense of modesty, at one of the tables. And you can see he's got one big tusk that is kind of coming off his lower lip. And so he seems to have that going on. And then, yeah, that is kind of who you see at the moment. You guys are free to interact how you would like.
I would like to go to the people that look like they sail the ships as well. And
Okay,
we can
yeah,
talk about sailing and the deeds I did for sailing through the Besmara's storm and clouds like it was nothing, causing no damage to the ship and getting us all safely like it was nothing.
Yeah, you kind of make your way through the general populace, we'll say. The people that I pointed out sort of look the most interesting or seem to be the most important, you could say. But you are making your way, maybe you're grabbing food or something like that. And a little halfling will come up to you and he goes, "A shoonie? Huh, I haven't seen one of you in. Well, I don't actually ever think I've seen a shoonie." And he puts his hand out and he goes, "Tith Blaze Glow, nice to meet you."
Lucky Golden Tail. It's been a long time since I've seen a halfling, like just now on the boat.
Yeah, we can't really miss. There's a lot of halflings in Port Peril, he kind of like stands up a little bit and goes, "I think I'm a little bit taller than you, but that doesn't really matter."
Yeah, maybe. And I
Maybe?
I go on like my toes and I'm like, oh yeah,
Are
yeah,
you-
yeah, you are. You're a
Does
little
it
taller.
count? How do you? You don't have to answer. This might be a personal question, but would that be considered being on your tippy toes because you have the pads? Is that the same? Do the bones, the joints, and everything work the same?
No, that's my normal feet. Like I don't have tippy toes, but I can try to go a little higher. But yeah,
Oh, well, that's awesome. And I heard you're an officer of the Mischief's Maiden. I haven't heard of your ship or your captain yet. Are you relatively new to Port Peril?
we were in Port Peril before, but as crewmen of a different ship.
Got your own
yes,
ship.
yes.
That's
We have worked
that's
our way
awesome.
up. Wait till you hear what the captain has done of the Mischief Maiden.
I would say I'd buy you a drink, but everything's on the house. And he kind of like snaps his finger at one of the servants, and they bring over a couple mugs of ale for you. And Tith goes, "Do you guys talk about all kinds of weird, super excited halfling shoony shit?"
Yeah,
Um,
okay, sounds good.
for a little bit there. And how about Jupiter Blackblade? You have not seen the mistress of Callistra yet, but you do see some of the other ladies.
I found someone interesting. I walk up to her.
Yes, she does seem to have a couple, of sailors, and they sort of turn and puff
I ignore
chest.
all of them. I don't even look at them. I just say to her, "Greetings. I am Jupiter, and what name can I put to this lovely lass?"
She kind of kicks her feet back and smiles and says, "Tessa Fairwind, it's a pleasure to meet you," you said. "Jupiter Blackblade?"
"Yes, ma'am. Pleasure to meet you, Tessa."
"Yes. Well, what brings you to one of Bedeau's parties? I have not heard of your captain or your ship before."
Yeah, that is exactly why we are here. So you do hear of us and know of our deeds and our adventures.
"Ah. How do you know Captain Bedeau? It's rare that he sends out invitations without knowing somebody personally."
Oh, I do not. I am here with my captain. What he knows about the Bedeau, I have no idea. I'm just a mate. But a mate of high standing. I like to
Well,
keep
since
things quiet for my part. I do what I need to do. I don't try to make too much noise.
well, I've met all of these folks before, whether here or at the council chambers. Please take a seat. And she kind of tells one of her, it looks like probably one of her officers, to kind of get lost. She goes, "Why don't you regale me with stories of the Mischief's Maiden before our host makes an appearance? It'll probably be dramatic and exaggerate and probably expensive. But before that, let us at least indulge in some of the fineries of his life." And she kind of passes you a cigar if you like.
Oh yeah, I take a cigar. I'm not big on the storytelling like the other guy was.
And
So
it's pretty casual, yeah.
Yeah, I just tell her a story about our latest adventure. I don't embellish too much.
Oh, Eel Skull Fortress, huh? That's there's many rumors there. It's a little sad, to be honest, to hear that it was just a one magical trinket trap that was scaring people so much, but it's
They seem to
Good
make
to
a
hear
big
that.
deal over very little. It was
Yes, well, it's always
super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, thanks to Lucky.
well, it is always good to hear that a smuggler's treasure was reclaimed for the benefit of those who are alive.
Indeed.
And again, you guys kind of just shoot the shit, so to speak.
Is she a
talk about-
captain? I ask her all about that stuff. Is she like
Ah,
the captain
yes.
of their ship since they're following her order?
Yes, she is a free captain, actually.
Oh, okay.
And her ship, let me scroll through my 800 names of them, is the Luck of the Draw.
Someday
she
you'll
tells
have to
you-
tell me. Oh, go on.
Oh, she tells you that her port of operation, or where she mostly ports out of, is Quent, which is one of the bigger ports in the Shackles. And then if you are ever around to find where her manor is, and she would love to share a glass of wine or something with any upcoming pirate and
that's-
their boat.
That would be lovely. And if you're ever around and I tell her what our port is, our place, the one that
Tidewater
got
Rock.
good
Tidewater.
standing, right? Yeah. So that they know
And
that that's our port. Get some infamy.
And you mentioned Tidewater Rock, and a hearty laugh goes out, and I would say anybody who's kind of in the area hears it as well. And she kind of leans in and looks from you to your captain and goes, the widow found another husband? And she kind of looks at you, eyebrow cocked.
Oh, is that what she does?
I have been suspecting that if one was to claim Tidewater Rock and leave her alive, it would be something of that nature. She is a modest lady. She knows her way around the courts, so truly, she has a great mind and a great eye for these things. And I was always curious at how the standing of the Tidewater Rock would go. I will have to talk to your captain later.
Yes, she's definitely adept at staying alive. I will say that. But I was curious that someday you must tell me the story of the name of your ship and how it got such.
Luck of the draw. Yes, well, I will tell you much of the story is in the name. But yes,
The
I think
last
that
captain.
story requires a less public affair, if you will.
Oh, well, anytime. I tip my drink in my hat.
Yeah, of course. Gears. Where's your first area of interest?
I will look for a table with people not dressed the finest, but a little more in our level, and get myself a seat.
Yeah, you find it looks like a bunch of practical sailors. It looks like they may have went and bought outfits specifically for this that they haven't worn out to sea yet. So it's the standard sailor affair. It just looks fresh and new.
Nice.
And then you walk by and it smells a little briny, that table, as they probably didn't hit a bathhouse or anything like that as well. And they seem to be both eating their share and also kind of questioning what the food is, as you are seeing delicacies from all over Galarian, some of which are interesting and confusing.
Well, hello, my fellow sailors. May I have a seat?
Of course, yeah. You're what? What they say, mischief's maiden? One of the
Mr.
officers.
Mason, I am the first mate of the glorious Captain Wilhelm, the Cokenstache. Wonderful man he is.
I haven't quite heard of your ship or your captain yet, but if you're at a manor of a free captain, at least some notice, to send you an invitation at least. Yeah, we're and he kind of looks around and goes, we're part of the murderous oar. And he kind of nudges towards that portly looking captain. He goes, that's Captain Porcott Deanson.
Well,
He likes to bring different crew guys to this one, and we've been in his favor lately. So free food and free ale, right?
indeed, I'd love me some free food and ale, and you do seem like a well-traveled crew. By chance, do you know anything about the ship, the Wormwood, where it might be at this moment, or have you seen it in your travels?
They kind of look at each other and murmur a little bit, and one goes, "The Wormwood. That's Captain Harrigan, right?"
I believe so. Yes.
Last I heard, I mean, he was in Port Peril a couple months back, maybe. I think. I know our captain over the years has had some dealings with him. I know Harrigan wants to be a free captain, and I know he's probably talked to all the free captains to get sponsorship and whatnot. I obviously don't know how any of that panned it out for him, but I don't. At least I haven't seen the Wormwood
Fair
in a
enough.
while.
I was just curious. Haven't seen him in some time myself. So,
Yeah,
fellas, let's get down to brass tacks here. What's the word on treasure around these parts?
what do you mean, like in town or just rumors and such?
Well, this place here seems pretty snazzy. How did this captain get so rich?
Oh, Captain Bedeau. Well, I mean, first off, he's a free captain, so he's going to get money from taxes and stuff collected. It's part of the being a free captain. Kind of taking responsibilities on, I guess, of the council gets you a little bit of money, and then he has a port of his own. He mans the Rampor Isles, so he obviously takes some dues and stuff from them, and I'm gonna probably say the ship name 40 different ways. The Semidurage, that's how I'm gonna say it.
Semiraj.
Is
Semiraj.
kind of known for being an
A
extremely
Pakistani
fast
Yes.
ship, and heard it can catch up, and his crew is supposed to be some of the stealthiest and fastest on the seas. So
And
I'm
loyal,
sure.
I guess, for him to keep all these riches.
And one guy looks around and he goes, I've never sat in a tavern with any of his crew. I would say 90% of the free captains, their crews, hit the normal watering holes. Maybe a few have an extra gold or two to burn at some of the higher end places. But now that you think about it, I don't think I've actually ever met a crewmate from
Hmm.
his ship. And Gears, give me another perception check.
I think I understand. He's done what I want to do, the bastard. Hey, I'll take that 30.
You're kind of looking around as well, and you notice that there are 3 figures kind of in shadowy corners. There's one kind of standing under the stairs, just where it is just high enough. The shadows are just dark enough. There's one over by kind of where these 2 doors are, which is the kitchen in the shadows. And then there is one kind of in the back shadows of this fireplace. And you notice that they are all wearing kind of the same sash, since it's sort of uncouth to wear your flag or any big symbols, of what ship you belong to in Port Peril. Kind of like a biker's tradition, you don't really wear your leathers in town, kind of thing, unless it is your town. But you notice they are all wearing kind of the same marquee of colors, and they seem to just be kind of watching. But you only really noticed because you were specifically looking for crewmen who might fit what you've heard of this captain so far.
Very interesting. Well, we will talk more, gentlemen. Let us feast for a bit and enjoy this time together.
And a servant comes by with more ale and more wine or whatever. That seems to be whether there's just enough servants here or these people are masters of their craft that never a tankard is empty or a wine glass empty or a plate empty as the night kind of goes on. And
This
we
whole
come
thing
to
stinks, I tell you, stinks.
Captain Wilhelm Cokenstache. What is your first endeavor here?
I think I'm gonna run over here, and I'm just gonna fill up me plate.
I'm gonna fill up me plate and me cup.
Yeah.
And are there any of the captains that are kind of standing nearby over here?
Yeah, the portly human gentleman is sort of at the end of the food table. He seems to be draining his tankard almost as quickly as they can fill it. He looks at you and goes, Captain Cokenstache, I've not heard your name. Porcott Deanson, captain of the Murderous Oar. Pleasure.
Murderous oar.
Have I heard of the murderous oar?
Roll me a sailing check.
I'm gonna Benny, or I'm gonna Dubloon that.
Yeah.
Better.
You have not necessarily like a long story or anything they've done in particular, but you remember before you were sort of conscripted onto the Wormwood that you were actually in talks to possibly be a crewman of the Murderous Oar. It was you can't quite remember his name, but it was an officer of some kind you were kind of in the talks with.
Yeah, I remember when I was but a wee pirate. I was in talks to join your crew. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Well, he shakes your hand and kind of goes, well, it looks like a man who can get in his own ship. I'm not sure if I'm sad that you weren't one of my officers, or I'm glad you weren't on my ship, if you catch my meaning. And he sort of nudges you with his shoulder.
I've been known to keel haul one or two.
Hey, that's the only way. That's the only way they learn, is by seeing what could happen. Sometimes, sailors tend to be more of a physical learner.
Indeed. Say, why don't you regale me with one of your tales, some of your deeds?
Well, the Murderous Oar's most popular tale, and he sort of smirks and chuckles a little bit. He goes, is how I got the name. You see, we were in a port I won't share the name of, for I don't wish anybody the ill luck that we had. And we took a couple ladies on board of the night. Well, some of my sailors did. And one of them either paid and or felt like she could get off with more money, decided to kill two of my sailors. Well, I won't stand for that. The bell rang, and the only thing I could grab quick enough was an oar. And I killed that murderous whore with my oar, and that is how we decided the name of the ship. And the Murderous Oar, and that oar sits above the doorway into the captain's quarters for all time.
The horror.
Aye, a very storied name you got there.
Yes, I had a few others picked, but I put it to vote, and that is the one we came up with.
And then I think what I want to do is just kind of like schmooze with him a little bit, get him talking about himself and his own accomplishments, and just be the most interested person, and just act like I'm taking mental notes. I want to make a good impression with this guy.
Yeah, and he will regale you. How he met Captain Bedeau comes up, and it was a expedition that needed a few captains. Kurdak Bonefist put free Captain Bedeau in charge of chasing a few Chilaxian Navy ships, warships that seem to have been kind of skating the edge of the shackles. So he put a small kind of armada together. It was him. He names off a couple other ships, and they scared away a war galleon, and he said that he actually saw the Semidaraj sink 2 ships before the main war galley decided to turn tail and run away. Fastest ship he's ever seen, and ever since then, he always comes and pays his respects to Captain Bedeau, since it was, he got a lot of infamy and rose kind of in the ranks. He's looking to maybe become a free captain within the next year himself. He just has a few other things he needs to accomplish, and he will then ask for Captain Bedeau to sponsor him.
Well, it's good to know that Captain Bedeau is not just all frill.
And I'll take like some of the garnish that's on one of the plates next to me on the buffet, and I'll just kind of.
And he sort of chuckles a little bit and almost gets serious for a moment and goes, anybody who's a free captain should always be looked at with a concern in your eye, and knowing that they are some of the most wily, the most dangerous, and the best sailors to ever sail these seas. It's an honor to be a free captain, and you have to truly be somebody to be a free captain.
There's a visible anime like twinkle in Captain America and Captain Wilhelm's good eye.
Oh goodness.
Funny. But
And
yeah,
then,
so you got. Oh yeah,
I was just gonna ask.
Oh, and by the way, you wouldn't happen to have heard any tales of a Captain Harrigan, would you?
Barnabas Harrigan, fool.
Aye.
Well, wouldn't tell him that. You wouldn't call him that to his face. But last I heard, he had a new ship and a new bunch of crew. I haven't seen him in months, probably almost better part of a year myself.
No telling what sort of plunder they were after, where they might have been going, huh?
With Harrigan, well, he's always been known for raiding ships and the coast, and I guess if you can get a few more dumb captains behind him, he might make a stretch up towards the Chilaxian. He likes to think that taking on the Chilaxian Navy shows some sort of strength. Personally, I think it's just a stupid move. I'm going to tell you, if you ever see a Chilaxian Navy ship, just head towards the coast. They don't do well up the rivers and such. Ships are too heavy, too big.
Duly noted. Ah, thank you. What was it you said your name was again?
Portcott Deanson, captain of the Murderous Oar.
Captain Deanson, it's been a pleasure. I think I might enjoy me one of those cigars.
And around that time, it's probably been an hour or so that you guys have been at this party. All of a sudden, the bard that was playing stops, and sort of a couple more people come out to accompany him, and he sort of, if everybody will turn to attention, it seems that our party's all arrived. Hopefully you are all comfortable. You have had drinks and food and entertainment to your liking. And you hear from a few people, and he goes, yes, well, now it is time for Master Bedeau to show off his wares. And there's like a drum roll, kind of crazy music going, and Captain Bedeau comes walking down the stairs. Dressed
Sorry, I forgot to mute.
extremely just purple trench coat, gold and bling, the hat,
Oh, look at
everything
the
is
chest
beautiful
hair.
and pristine. And he is just kind of waving at everybody. And he gets to the bottom of the stairs, and he kind of does a half-assed display of casting a spell. And along all the walls and kind of the ceiling, all of a sudden, kind of almost out of thin air, all of this crazy, exquisite, exotic artwork, weaponry. There's a case of shrunken heads. All these things just start to appear around the room.
I start clapping.
He's a witch.
And, a lot of the other pirates and stuff do clap. And he goes, ha, No. Thank you. The theatrics are mostly for myself, where I love.
I just kind of yawn.
Now Gears is
And
dead.
he like looks around and he goes, I hope all of you have so far enjoyed the food, the entertainment, the ever-flowing ale and wine that I can provide for all of you. Where I am here to make a few announcements. What better to do it than with some of my most revered friends of the past many years? He sort of looks around and he goes,
I sink back into a corner because he's clearly not describing me.
he goes, I, Captain Badeau of Segamurda, whatever I name the ship.
Semino.
Yeah. Will be retiring at year's end. And there will be a seat on the Captain's Council coming up because of that. The specifics, I know some of you here are already my free captain compatriots, but there are a few captains I have known over the years who I think make a good stock. So, help me celebrate my retirement. And there's like indoor fireworks and stuff goes off and everybody cheers, and he's got a glass of his wine gets refilled, and the band starts to play a nice kind of jaunty tune as he sort of starts like making his way kind of like through the tables here, stopping at the captains and the nobles and such like that. And Tessa Fairwind will lean over to you, Jupiter, and be like, retiring, that's new. A lot of times free captains don't retire. It's kind of a death kind of thing. Or if Kurdak fires you, generally is an execution. Generally, he's probably firing you out of a cannon. This is interesting. What's your judgment on all this? You think he's
He must have come
up to
upon
something
a
else?
big score to retire, don't you think?
Yeah, score maybe, something else maybe. He's always been a hard one to read. His kind of dramatic nature. I've never really liked talking to him one-on-one, to be quite honest with you. He throws excellent parties, and his wine cellar is by far one of the best of all the free captains. So I always indulge when I get the chance on his invitation.
Well, then we should do our best to empty it.
I would agree with you if it wasn't I had a few questions to ask him myself, but I will probably overindulge more than I normally do.
Well,
And you notice, Jupiter, shortly after he kind of makes his way to the first table, the lady of Callistra walks down the stairs, and boy, is she hot. She was hot at the Siren's Lash, but now she's wearing still kind of a very exotic dress. That slit kind of comes up to the high thigh. It's like this green with gold, and it seems to shimmer with like purple as she walks by.
it's the
And she
shimmer.
makes eye contact with you and sort of nods, but then kind of saddles right up next to Captain Badeau and kind of grabs his arm.
Of course. I continue to drink and talk to the redheaded captain chick.
Yeah.
I will ignore her. I gave her a nod, and that's it.
All right, perfect. Captain Badeau makes his way around again,
Um,
entertaining.
At the earliest convenience, if there's ever a gap in the conversation, I'd like to approach him.
Yeah, since he's like by my table, I kind of want to be like, I hear you like magic based on you coming in doing all that stuff. And since I've done magic tricks in like episode 2, Lucky is going to do like one of those things where like sparks come out of his like sleeve, and then he like pulls out a
Okay.
card, and the card will say the Mischief Maiden. So I want to see if I can pop out sparks and then a card.
Roll me. Let's see here. I'll take a thievery.
They're illusions, Michael.
There is a palm and object. Is that like the same thing?
Yeah,
Does
go
that
ahead and
like-
use that one. And he seems very interested. He goes, "Oh, a magic trick. Yes, please. Show me."
21.
Yeah, that for a simple magic trick like that, I would definitely say that's a success.
Okay.
And you kind of pick a card type kind of situation thing, and then do a little doves, and the cards come out, and you hand him one, and he looks at it, and goes, "The mischief's made. That is adorable. You, my lad." And he kind of scrunches between your ears and goes, "Oh, a good boy."
Thank you, Captain Badeau. And I'm just
I
like,
would say, Cokenstache, that's probably, you see your moment right there.
Captain Badoo and my lady, and I'll
Bow my head to her.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I figured now with you announcing your retirement might be the best opportunity for me to present you with something that might help you properly celebrate it.
And I will present him with the fireworks, which I have made.
Although
This
I
is my
don't suggest you set those off indoors. Oh yes, how rude of me, Captain Wilhelm Cokenstache of the Mischief's Maiden.
Captain Wilhelm Cokenstache, Mischief's Maiden. He looks at the card and he goes, this is your Captain Good Boy. Good, Captain. You have a fine officer here. He seems to be good at entertaining it. There's fireworks, yes." He kind of hands to attendant. He goes, "When it gets a little darker out, we will set the skies of Port Peril alight with flame and color. I love it. It is extremely entertaining. You made these yourself?"
Of course. I am a craftsman of the highest order.
And I'll, if I may, and I'll reach back behind my back, and I'll kind of just play with my musket a little bit and see like what his reaction is. Is it okay if I like draw it?
Yeah, he doesn't even seem to like blink or do anything as you kind of reach for a weapon.
I'll pull it out and I'll show him the little. I'll open the port at the end of the barrel and kind of just tell him about that, and I'll show him the scope function, and I'll show him like the little gyroscope or whatever that I have at the back of the receiver and all that stuff, and just tell him, kind of give him a rundown of what all of it does, and just to kind of impart the idea, like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
He kind of looks at you guys. "May I
Aye, of
inspect
course.
it myself?"
I'll hand it over to him.
And roll me a perception check real quick, Wilhelm.
can I do
He's,
that as well?
he's
since I'm there?
definitely, Lucky, you could give me one too. You can definitely tell he has an expert eye for firearms as he's doing, all the very proper checks and everything like that. And you guys notice that you didn't catch it right away. It's almost too late that you catch it, that he slipped around into it, and you hear him go, "Pull!" And somebody from over at the food table with a whole full plate of food flings it in the air, and he just expertly shoots it out. It explodes into the room, and everybody kind of jumps up in panic for a second, and he looks at it again and gives it back, and he goes, "That is a quality firearm, Captain."
I look at one
Aye,
of the
thank you,
guys.
Captain.
I look at one of the guys at my table. Pull, throw something.
I throw a glass at him.
And
Yeah,
I
one of the guys will throw like an empty plate in the air.
I shoot it with my laser eyes.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll. I'm gonna tell you, it'll be a 10 armor class, so you can target any of the tokens to just roll against.
Where's my?
We're looking for a 10 though.
Where's my laser? Oh, there's my I-beam. Don't roll a 1.
Oh, wait, you got it. Okay. At me?
I can't target any token.
And you see the plate go up, and you shoot it kind of with the laser, and Badeau turns and goes, "Did that robot just shoot a laser out of its head?
Did he miss or did he hit it?
He hit it.
No, he hit it.
Oh,
I got laser eyes, Captain.
Aye, this is Gears. He's my first mate.
You have a Shuni as an officer and a robot goblin who shoots lasers as your first mate. Captain Wilhelm, I am intrigued by the uniqueness of your crew.
I can also turn into a shark, and I shift into a half shark.
The wonders, I've thought I've seen it all in the shackles
That's crew.
until my own
You
party.
don't have any of us in your little curio cabinets, do you, Captain?
No, I do not. I have a few shrunken heads that chitter and chatter a little bit. I think there's an enchantment on them. But I don't have the unique crew that you have. Tell me, Captain, what,
We blew his
have we,
mind.
have we,
We broke him.
no, wait. have we worked together before? Have we parlayed in a trade? I'm trying to recall when we met.
Oh, it was quite a while ago. Lucky, your memory's better than me. When was that we helped out Captain Badoo here?
I think it was the early days of pirating, Captain.
Ah, yes. No. Now I remember. You helped me steal that idol. Ah, yes, that idol that was stolen. You helped me steal. I got it.
Yes,
And
the idol.
And he kind of leans into you, Wilhelm, and he goes, "Pirate's life for you, sir, is a good one." And he kind of walks away.
Can I
To
roll
go,
a Can I roll a sense motive check on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
so ominous. I don't know.
I'd be the one.
Go right ahead.
You and your secret rolls, you son of a bitch.
I
Damn it,
keep
Ross.
forgetting to change it.
I don't know if you're good. I'll reveal it. You get the sense that he was congratulating you
For sneaking in.
on stealing the invitation.
Ah, okay.
So you think because it was kind of that like, he almost winked because he was like, yes, I remember how we met. As you sort of stuttered and everybody was kind of looking, and then his lean in, you get the feeling that your stealing of the invitation was not a bad thing in his eyes.
Well received.
I'll look over at
Yes.
Lucky and I'll wink at him, but it'll be with my bad eye behind the.
Should be
Behind
winking
the
at the
iPad.
damn cat.
And then I look and wink at Jupiter, like relaying the thing to from the captain.
Tip my glass. Give him the old Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think my entire crew has something in their eyes.
Tessa leans over and says, "Jupiter, your crew is a strange lot. Entertaining. Why don't you
Crew is
introduce me to your
weird.
captain?"
Of course. Let us saunter over to him, shall we?
I'm gonna go join the rest of my crew. I don't want to be left out.
He's
So
like-
a few moments later, Wilhelm Jupiter is in tow with this beautiful female captain who
What's her last name again?
Isn't-
Elwin?
Tessa Fairwind.
it's
Fairwind,
on the
that's it.
screen.
What screen? Where?
Our
Giant
screen.
words.
It's a giant name right next
Oh,
to you.
my character sheet was covering it, you filthy dog.
Okay.
He's a cat. He can't read.
Hey,
Captain.
Blackblade, who is that you're bringing over to meet?
Captain, may I introduce Free Captain Tessa Fairwind of
Ah.
I forgot the fucking name. The Luck of the
Luck of the
Draw.
draw.
Aye, Captain Fairwind. A pleasure to meet you.
And I'll
Captain.
bow down
Gosh,
real
so
low
like-
in a very fanciful way.
And she gives you kind of like an over dramatic curtsy.
I like your style.
Because- Well, I like yours as well. That musket there, that thing is quite a beauty. And
Aye.
what? Your first mate there, robot, shoots laser beams out of his eyes. How did you find this crew?
Well, we all just kind of ended up together. We were all in the same crew, and things fell into place the proper way that we came into possession of a ship, picked up
We killed everyone on the ship and took it for our own.
We're pirates after all.
Stab the dog.
Gentleman kindness, he means.
Indeed. What the good boy here said rings true.
I was not there for all that killing.
Well, Jupiter here also tells me you have, how shall we put this, claimed the Tidewater Rock in more ways than one?
I've planted me flag in it.
He has a girlfriend.
Yes. Yes, girlfriend. I'm sure Lady Smithy is all too happy to have a companion again. Her poor husband. I don't know much about what happened to him, but I know he has not been seen for a long time, and the rumors is that he did die at sea, which I guess is the best death for any of us. But
Rumor has it that
it was a shame.
it was a rival captain who killed him.
I give her a look. I go, I can think of a few better ways to die.
Death by snooze do.
A rival captain, you say? It's not unheard of for pirates to attack other pirates or go after each other for revenge and such, but most go through the pirate council to at least appease the Hurricane King and to make sure that they aren't playing with fire themselves. I don't remember hearing about anybody in ill favor of Captain Smithy.
Can I try to sense, like, oh man, trying to think of how to word this. Like, can I sense her? Like, I want to roll a sense motive, but I'm trying to figure out what to ask for. Like, is she? Can I see? Is she like digging for information?
Yeah, you can roll sense motive.
Like, does she? Do I think that she might be the type of person to use information against me?
You rolled a 13.
Try harder.
Did you want to keep the 13?
Yeah, we'll keep it.
Okay. With that, I don't know, the way she's going about this conversation, obviously our RP is pretty direct, but I would say she's a little bit more, she's maneuvering this situation really well. She has you involved, Lucky involved, maybe asking Gears some questions and then coming back to you. It feels like she is just trying to get to know you, but also if she is a free captain and there are sort of rules for engaging other captains, she sort of seemed a little bit more, businesswoman-y when she asked, kind of thing. Like, oh, is there some rivalries we don't know about? We should, kind of thing.
And I'll kind of lean a little bit closer and say that,
word around the bay is that it was Captain Harrigan who did the deed.
Harrigan, huh? To be honest with you, I never really liked him. He's always wanted a seat at the Pirate Council, and I've always thought his tactics barbarian.
I tend to
Quite
agree.
honest with you. Good. But it's kind of a serious accusation. Although, we are pirates and there is a code of conduct we must adhere to, but, there's really no laws saying such a thing. And interesting. Thank you, Captain Cokenstache. I appreciate that bit of information.
Captain Fairwind, may I ask you a question?
Of course.
What is the proper procedure if there was beef between two pirate ships?
Well, depending on the manner of the the argument at hand, you could take it to the Hurricane King or the Pirate Council, and if it is something that can be solved in a monetary value of some kind or something like that, we will be the moderators and the judges, all of that sort of judge courtship. But there have been many cases where they take it upon themselves, and the victor tends to get tends to come back tenfold. For a lot of captains out there who have been sailing the seas are friends of free captains or have friends who were planning on their success. So it may be some advice for a up and start crew like yourselves. It is never a bad idea to make things known to the Pirate Council. You have worries for you never know who you're talking to, but there are times when you may get more people on your side than you think.
Thank you. That is very informative.
And then you hear, Tessa Fairwind, my dear lady, please come here, come here. And Bedeau is kind of like walking up on you guys and steals Tessa away from you for a little while.
Son of a bitch.
Quite the ladies' man, isn't he?
Although when he does kind of guide her direction, she looks at all of you and sort of rolls her eyes. Continues on with her kind of dramatized ways.
I go back to the table and listen for gossip and see if I do like a quick glance to see if what's her face is looking at me, the mistress.
Lady
Since
of
she's since she's no longer engaged with Captain Dinglebat.
Yeah, she seems to be talking to some of the other ladies walking around and doing some entertaining, and you do catch her eye.
No, I want to
But
see if she's looking at me. I don't want her to see that I'm looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You do catch her kind of like, looking over at you a little bit.
Yeah, I put my feet up where she had her feet up and have a drink.
Yeah. Well, I think we are going to go into some of these roles now. So we're going to go across kind of the board here, and I will have you pick one of those skills to make that roll with, and I will tell
Sailing
you
for me.
I will
they
pick diplomacy.
coming out. Okay. I'll tell you what, JT, go ahead and roll that diplomacy then.
Alrighty. You motherfucker.
18. You do a pretty good job. That will get you guys 1 point of infamy.
Oh, there we go. Sweet.
As you feel, just talking to Tessa Fairwind and sort of some of the other captains, you have gotten the story of the Mistress Maiden. People are, surprised you have done so much without them hearing about you, but now they have, and you've seemed to gain the favor of most everybody here at the moment.
Sweet.
Lucky, you said you were going to go sailing?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll.
Whoa.
This damn dog.
All right. Yeah, you get into an almost nautical argument with another pilot from, we'll say, the half-orc ship, who you find out is Captain Keldrock the Iron Tooth, which makes sense. He has a giant iron tusk sitting out of his mouth. His boat, the Lust of Aluntis.
Hold on. Say his name again, Captain
Keldrock Iron Tooth.
Okay. Of the
Lust of Aluntis. Here, I'll put it in the chat here.
Okay.
Maybe. if I use the right keyboard.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and there seems to be a conversation about, the headings of the wind and how to kind of navigate into headwinds and all this stuff. And you display, I think it's more of a shock to people when you get into this argument and everything you say makes sense versus where 30 seconds ago to a minute ago, you were just kind of wagging your tail, your tongue was sticking out.
I'm at this dude's
you know,
kneecaps and like looking up to him,
Yeah.
like yelling at him, like, "No, you got to go this way, swing it around, and then go this way, and then the wind will hit it, and then it will go really fast, and you just gotta get with the wind."
And all the other crewmen there are like, yeah, no, that works way better and stuff like that. So you actually gain 3 infamy for the Mischief's Maiden with your knowledge of sailing.
Boom!
Wow.
I got you, Captain.
And gears.
Good boy.
Is there a roll? You
I
can
will
you can
do-
repeat the same skill. It's just you
I'll
just have
do
to you have to
diplomacy.
Okay.
Hell, I would have rolled a doubloon if I knew I could have got a 3.
I will doubloon that because
Okay.
why not? Got to try to beat the damn dog, right? Jesus Christ.
Good luck. You have to get it.
Well, I will tell you, some of these rolls got different amounts of infamy.
There you go.
Here's
I'll
time to-
take
A
a time.
30
you
with
son of a bitch.
diplomacy. All right. Well, that was the highest one with the most amount of infamy. That is 5 infamy. Whether it was shooting you after your display,
You got the same
you
as the
become
dog.
quite
Why did
Yeah,
I
but I
get
did
3 and you get
diplomacy.
5?
I did diplomacy,
Because-
not selling.
Oh,
okay,
skills
got
got
it.
different. Yeah. Certain skills
it.
got different levels of infamy. Yeah, your display with the plate and everything like that gets you a lot of attention, and you are very good at selling the Mischief's Maiden and kind of proclaiming all of the things you guys have done. And Tith Blazeglow, the little halfling who seems to just kind of be a citizen of Port Peril, he mentions that he delivered a message once to the manor house and gets invited to this guy's parties all the time. And so that's why he's here. And he comes over with 3 or 4 more plates and he goes, do it again. And
Keep 'em
throws them
coming,
in
boy.
the
I'll
air.
keep them blowing up.
And so by the end of the evening, yeah, you have done a great job of spreading the Mischief Maiden's accomplishments around.
We're a good ship, good crew, great
And
captain.
Captain Wilhelm,
All right. I think
which skill would you?
I've tried. I think I would have tried to kind of play up to everybody's kind of sensibilities as to the life of a pirate and what it means to be a pirate and play up to what they appreciate and what they like. I want to go with a society roll.
Okay.
I have faith in you, Captain.
Society
Come
is
on,
my
baby.
worst roll.
Yeah, mine too.
I will.
I got a +2.
I will try to doubloon that.
Man, I want to go back and doubloon mine.
The balloon not too late.
Oh,
there we go, Captain.
Yeah, baby.
That's why you
All
lead
right.
the crew. Glorious
That
bastard.
is also going to be 5 infamy points as you kind of go around and just talk about being a pirate. You learn, Porcott's kind of, you learn a lot about these captains who are here. Tessa Fairwind, I would say, is still kind of more mysterious, but you learn that her home port is Quent, which is the second biggest port in Port Peril. So besides the guy who rules the city you're in now, who's called the Hurricane King, she claims the second biggest port as hers. So she is extremely important. So that's something you kind of make note of. Keldrock Irontooth is a ship that sails kind of for Badu. Not necessarily. He is his own captain. He can kind of do his own things. But he does fly the flag of Captain Badoo as well. So it's almost as if he's almost an admiral. He needs another ship or two to be for that title. But that is the Lustre of Aluntis does sail with the Semitara. And Porcott, the murderous ore, he tends to stick to the trade routes, and he seems to have a very good eye for how heavy a ship is, and gives you kind of some pointers and stuff like that as you guys are comparing things. Porcott does ask if he could commission a musket similar to yours at some point, since he is utterly impressed.
I think I might be able to make that happen.
And Captain, I'm gonna need one more roll from you. This can be one of the same skill rolls that you just rolled, but this is specifically for Captain Badoo. As you talk to him again throughout the evening about everything else, this is a captain to captain roll. You might gain some infamy. You might gain other things as well.
I asked for one of his chest hairs. He
Or
gave me
if
three.
there is another skill that you think you could, gain favor or something else with based on what you know of the captain, you can try to use something else as well.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Considering that a majority of the captain in my conversation had to do with the fireworks that I gave to him and my musket, could I roll a crafting check?
Yes.
Nice. Come on, baby.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Call that a doubloon. Can I doubloon that even though it was a natural one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Golly.
handed him an explosive rifle.
I'm going to doubloon it again.
That was almost a 20. You got robbed.
I am going to deprive myself. I think, is this, this is my last doubloon. Come on.
Don't do it again, Moss.
All right. Much
There
better.
you go.
Much better.
Nice. Yes, that will gain 2 more infamy for you guys. And, you're kind of at some other point in the evening circling around the circle. Maybe it's all the captains are kind of having a little quick discussion about things and stuff like that. And Captain Badoo locks eyes with you, Cokenstache, and he goes, "What are you doing in today? I would like to ask a favor of you in more of a more intimate gathering of maybe just me, you, and your officers. If you would like to come by for lunch."
I think we'll be in town. I don't see any issues with that.
Good. We have, and he looks over at Tessa, we have a council meeting tomorrow. Those take up all of the day. And they both seem to kind of not be happy about that. But then, yes, the day after tomorrow, let us have lunch, Captain Cokenstache, for I wish to discuss something with you. And I think that your skills, and from everything I've learned about you so far, you would be perfect for this.
An opportunity I'm not rightly about to turn down. I look forward to it.
Good man. And yeah, the party kind of continues late into the evening. Is there at the later half of the party, is there anything anybody wants to do in particular?
I saunter around seeing if I can gain favor with either of the 2 women.
Always looking to get laid.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously talk to either of them. The priestess does have other pirates and stuff coming up to her as well all through the evening.
I'll hang out with Tessa then.
I just want to.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, lucky what you asked. Yeah, you can definitely do that. And she sort of laughs and says, "Do you, besides Tidewater Rock, is there another port that's well frequent yet, or have you not decided on that?"
We have not decided yet. We have taken Eel Skull, but we didn't make it a base or a port.
Yes, I hear that island is home to giants and maybe cyclops. I don't think that would be a fortress any pirate would want.
I agree. But I palm the card and hand it to her.
And she kind of puts it, in her shirt. And yeah, Jupiter, you were there as well. And what would you like to talk about? Anything in particular?
I just kick it, see if she's interested. Throw some swagger. I don't have any performance or society. All I have is diplomacy.
Make your
Hey, you
tail
can go
into
ahead
the
and roll
shape of a
me-
heart. It's like subliminal messaging. Just
You
off in
can
her
roll me one
periphery.
of those.
Make your cat tail into
There
a
you
heart
go.
shape with dexterity.
Now, Tessa Fairwind is a very experienced captain, free captain. So,
Mhm.
in many ways, out of your league. And
Yeah.
it does not seem that in this instance, you will be getting the prize, so to speak. Although she does take a liking to you. And she does say that if you or the Mischief's Maiden ever needs the assistance of a free captain, that you can reach out, and she will do what she can if it is within her means to do so. So no matter what, you have definitely made a friend,
Much appreciated,
and
my lady.
a friend of a free captain is important.
Good friend to have, huh?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I did not expect to succeed, but yes. Got
I will
what
tell you,
needed.
25 was the minimum for that. So you
Oh,
you
wow.
basically barely got it. These are higher players, man. It's not going to be easy to just.
It ain't gonna be a rollover.
Yeah, exactly.
If I were to say, hey, have you ever been with a machine before? Then I roll performance, see how well I would do in the bedroom.
You the fan.
25, not bad.
25's across the
Not
board.
bad.
Have you heard of the legend of the downstairs of Lucky?
The Fupa Lucky.
Have you seen the Red Rocket in action?
Proportionate to his body.
Over the
Yeah, the rest.
over the
Go
course
for
of the night, I just want to approach the captain, Captain Badu, one more time, and I'll say,
Captain, just a quick, a wee favor, if you don't mind.
Of what do you ask, Captain Cokenstache?
Do you think that whenever you set them rockets off that I handed over to you before, do you think you might be able to let Lucky light them off? I think he might get a real kick out of it.
I completely forgot you gave me fireworks. And he kind of claps his hand, and one of his little servants comes over and he goes, "Let's go outside right now. I know the perfect place." And he goes, "Ah, yes, Lucky wants to set him off. Of course." He races outside.
And I guess I run outside too.
he almost has a
He
And
almost
you
has
hear
a
him go-
childlike whimsy.
And you hear him go,
This could be
"Everybody
my new
outside,
best-
we're going to light."
This is
Captain.
my new best friend, Captain.
Captain, I believe they call that retardation.
I figured you
I'm
might
always-
you might get a kick out of lighting those off there, Lucky.
As everyone else walks out, I walk over to the display with the
Oh.
shrunken heads.
As
Tap on it. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Can you talk?
as I'm running out, I give the guy the coin so I can get my little sailor hat back on. So I have
Yeah,
my
and
sailor
he-
hat back on.
Tosses it to you, and you guys set the fireworks kind of up over here, and Bedeau kind of runs
Let
over
me out.
and stands next to Tessa. Yeah.
Or wait, do I stay
And-
over here while I light them?
Oh, you gotta light
or
them,
do I-
yeah. Unless
or
you
do I
have,
chase them?
like
Okay.
thaumaturgy or something to light them.
No. Okay. What do I
I
what
could
do I
light them
roll?
with my eyes, but I didn't go out there.
No, you're fine. He rolled high enough on his craft check that I'm not going to have you roll to light and see if these things blow up. But
Okay.
as gears, we're gonna as you guys are taking a minute or two to set them up properly. You go over to the shrinking heads, and they're like, "What are you looking at, man? Have you never seen a shrunken head before?"
Why the long face?
I like your shrunken head. Hey, where's some hidden treasure, shrunken heads?
Hidden treasure. Ah, yes. Haha. You know, they say it is if you can steal from a pirate's house while he's having a party, that you get to keep the treasure, you know. And one of the other heads
I
is like,
see what you're doing there.
don't listen to him. He's, well, I will tell you that Captain Paizo does not, just don't get caught, is all I'm saying. And even if you get caught, he might let you get away with it. It just kind of depends. But he's like, he's like, look around on the walls and everything. There's treasure everywhere, and you do, and I mean, the walls are covered in just art and weaponry and all this stuff. I mean, you see like a whole display of different styles of swords that almost look just gold.
I'm gonna take a weapon. I'm gonna look for one that looks really
no.
expensive.
I didn't realize all this stuff was in there. Before I leave, can I roll a detect magic and use my glass?
Yeah, there is magic everywhere. From literally pieces of the dining room set to, you're pretty sure one or two of the servants may actually be illusions of other servants that can still do stuff. And there are, multiple items on the walls that are coming
there
off
any-
magic. Some are you look for some specific?
Something stronger, like a stronger aura on Summer than others or whatever.
So I'm going to
Strongest aura.
to replace the weapon I take with a short sword I have that's worth nothing.
Okay.
It's a trade, not a theft.
For the most part, the items and stuff that are on the walls are probably about the same level of magic that your items are for the most part. Maybe it's a rune of this or a rune of that. He may be a pirate and he may be showing off his stuff, but the really expensive stuff he might not have on display here.
Okay, I ignore it then.
But you catch him, he lights up like a freaking beacon, and he is wearing some crazy magical stuff. Like his trench coat is effectively a illusionary. Like he is wearing armor, but it has turned into whatever apparently he wants it to be.
Gotcha.
Kind
Ooh,
of thing
fancy.
and stuff like that. Gears, yeah, go ahead and roll me a thievery roll.
Oh God, what is my thievery? That's not the
Rip
best.
ears.
I'm gonna doubloon that.
What's the
because
two and
I'm
the 14?
still in-
That's
I
still
think
over
the fourth
20.
one.
Fourth what?
14.
Yeah, a lot of 14s.
Dun dun dun. Well, 2 is better.
Oh, doubloon that too. I'm gonna go through all my doubloons here.
Okay.
And my final doubloon, I think.
Seems foolish.
It's all right. We got the 23. We
Two
always keep the highest
doubloons.
roll.
Yeah, 23. I'm out of doubloons. Jesus Christ.
So you snag a short sword, we'll say, and replace it with your own. This thing is
Yeah.
heavy. You're pretty sure this thing is made of complete gold.
Oh, that's nice.
And, it's probably worth, we'll just, for shits and giggles, we'll say 1,000 gold pieces.
Ooh. That's basically
You-
a wonder.
Very nice.
You take this thing, and right as you kind of are walking towards the door, almost you didn't even notice the person was there. A figure kind of almost just covered in these shadows. You can tell armor. You can't quite tell what species or race this creature is, but he kind of saddles up next to you and whispers in your ear, "Good switch. I barely caught that. Well done." And then he sort of backs away into the shadows.
Fair trade. Fair trade. And I walk out.
God damn it.
And as you step out the front door, Lucky is lighting the fireworks. You know what? Roll me a performance, Lucky, just for sake of what this looks like.
Okay. I have faith in my plus 10. 26.
Beautifully. If you rolled really low, I was going to have your tail catch on fire. But you avoided any sort of shenaniganry, chaos happening. And as Gears, you're making your way out the front door, the fireworks go off. And it is a pretty good display. And Captain Bedeau the whole time is wonderful. These are beautiful. The best I've seen in the Shackles so far. And he looks at you and, Captain, if piracy never works out for you, I will tell you, firework making is well within your wheelhouse and will probably make you rich. An easier life probably than pirating, but there is so much fun to be had in piracy.
I knew a wizard once who made some hell of a show with fireworks, but I don't know where he went. He tends to come and go when he pleases.
Scammed off? I know him. His fireworks are pretty good. Pretty good.
You know, Captain, from what I've heard, he shows up precisely when he means to.
Aye, he never means to show up on my ship then, apparently.
Like I
He's
said,
never
when he
needed.
means to.
Yes, here he can make a mockery of all things. So, well, shall we continue the evening? And again, this party is probably going to go for a whole day and a half, kind of thing.
Well,
Or at
I'm
least
down to
right up
party for a
until
day and a half.
They have to go to their meeting. Pretty much is when this party kind of officially ends.
How intoxicated is Captain Bedeau? Is he at all?
Roll me a sense motive on that. And any of you can roll that too as well.
Sure.
I don't care.
Sure.
Dang it, I keep forgetting to change it.
I want to see who's drunk.
I forgot to change mine too. Son of a.
Sense motive. Oh, that's in this. Sense motive. Public.
Man, Lucky's
25.
got good rolls tonight. Dang.
So a few things happens after the firework. Tessa leaves. She does not wish to remain in the debauchery and the
I would
drinking
probably
yourself
leave
too
pretty
long.
soon too, being I took a gold sword. I'm not hanging out.
Happy old dog.
But the other pretty much everybody, a couple other like noblemen from Port Peril kind of leave at a more reasonable hour after the fireworks and stuff. But
I
yeah,
want to
you know,
challenge the
even-
gnome to a drinking contest.
well, even with your 18, you know, you've watched his glass be filled almost countless times, and he doesn't seem to be much more drunk than a good tipsy. And as you guys are probably starting to slightly tip over that peak drunkenness, and after the fireworks, that's kind of when it starts to get a little bit rowdy, and the kind of ship deck games sort of start coming out. There's arm wrestling happening, and you know, dice are, and it gets a little bit less classy party and a little bit more what you would expect a pirate party to be.
Can I challenge the gnome I haven't met yet to a drinking contest?
Yeah, he's walking around and
Listen, we're about the same height. I think we could drink against each other. That sounds fair, right?
well,
I'm Lucky Golden-tail, by the way.
Zus Wibbs, first mate to Captain Bedeau. Pleasure to meet you, Lucky. If you really want to try to outdrink me, you're more than welcome to try.
I'm a super lightweight, but you know, we're about the same size. I think it would be fair.
And he kind of looks at you strangely, and he goes, did you want to bet gold on this?
Or
Or are we just drinking for fun?
I always drink for fun. But if you want, I have a gold piece.
Sure. What's your preferred drink of choice?
Rum.
Rum. Got it. And he goes to a servant, and a couple minutes later, the servant brings out this bottle, and it is covered in dust. And he goes, I only bring this out when somebody thinks they can drink more than me. And he kind of sloshes it around a little bit. It's about half full, you think. And he goes, I've never met a man.
I'm a dog.
Yeah, I've never met another person's thing that can drink 3 shots of this and hold their stomach in.
Are they
Well, I will be
getting
the
a crowd
first.
around them for this?
They're starting to build a little bit of a crowd.
While they do that, I want to case the joint for any of the most expensive looking gem or something small that I can sneak.
Oh yeah, there's so much stuff.
At the
just
peak
on
of
the
their
walls.
whatever, I want to steal something with my jacket
Okay.
and my stealing, but let them,
Yeah.
obviously. When it
And
would be
he
appropriate.
sets. Yeah, I'll let you know in a roll. We'll go through this and then we'll sort of backtrack to you stealing
Okay,
that.
okay.
So
I just
he.
figured in case I went wrong, I didn't want to, start a fight in the middle of their thing.
We'll see. And yeah, he sits down across from you, pulls out a couple shot glasses, and pours the first shot. And he goes, to Port Peril.
To Port
And he
Peril.
swigs his first shot. All right, make me a fortitude save, please.
21.
All right. You drink this, and it is so viscous. I mean, it feels like you're drinking oil and just sits in your mouth and your esophagus, and you barely keep the shot down. And it is you're pretty sure if you breathe near a fire, you would light the air around you on fire. And the
Is-
gnome goes, whoo, it's been a while since I've had some of this.
What is this, oil? This doesn't taste like rum.
It's rum, all right, let me tell you, but it has been sitting for a while.
All right. Let's go for another one to Port Peril.
The longer the age, the better the burn.
Probably lube up gears with that shit.
Let's go.
All right.
He left.
Oops. Go ahead and roll another fortitude save as you take the second shot.
Ooh, can I doubloon?
Yeah, you can doubloon all these, yeah.
25.
Exactly what you needed for the second shot. Again, you're not even sure if you even swallowed this stuff since it has just coated your throat. And even when you try to talk, it's almost as if you're gurgling, as if you have a mouthful of water.
Good stuff. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't have any water. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And he sort of peeks his eye at you, and downs his shot as well. And the same thing kind of happens. His voice sounds as if he has a mouthful of water. And he goes, it feels good. Last one's bottoms up. And he downs the last third shot.
Oh, it was so close to a net 20. Let me try again. Last doubloon. Come on, lucky 20. 24 is my eyes one.
This last shot doesn't even, it barely makes it onto your tongue, and you fall on the table. And
But
these
does he
guys-
make it? Does he make it?
Let's see. I don't really have stats for him, but I'll give him oops.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, with ease.
He had a plus 17. Holy shit.
These guys are free captains. These guys don't fuck around.
uh,
When he throws up is when I'm gonna make my move.
I
Okay,
give
yeah.
I
Go ahead and roll
as
thievery.
as I'm puking, I pull or I do a magic trick and drop my 1 coin
Do I get a
or
plus
my
for my
1
coat?
gold my 1 gold coin to him.
What does your coat do?
Invisible for a minute.
Not on your end. So it'll make I'll give them a minus.
A
See if they
21
notice.
on my magic trick to give him his coin as I'm puking.
I'm gonna
Okay.
replace the thing I steal with one of Gears' business cards.
Okay.
With one of Gears' business
I don't have no
cards.
business cards. What that bullshit is that? You can't. I ain't got no business cards.
You haven't been handing out people business cards?
No.
I could have swore you handed out people business cards.
I think you're talking about me in real life handing out my fucking cards.
You definitely did that.
I ain't do it in character.
I mean, I've handed out Mischief Maiden cards today.
What the hell is business cards? We're pirates. What the
Oh,
fuck?
maybe it was Lucky. Yeah, it was maybe I put one of Lucky's cards there. Then he had the card.
Like, shit.
Yeah, you don't.
When the hell did I go to a
Nobody,
printer?
nobody seems to notice this swap, and kind of the same thing as Gears. You're kind of maybe towards a corner, maybe you're kind of sitting down over here, and you're a little bit in the shadow, and kind of this figure just appears behind you, and he sort of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "That was smooth, well done," and sort of disappears back into the shadows again.
Damn it! I was trying to beat him.
I will tell you, you were very close.
Shit.
Are you going to use all your doubloons?
No, I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. He don't give a shit.
All right. Well,
what's that
the
word?
next morning arises, and the kitchen has been cooking this entire time. They bring out pastries and croissants and breakfast foods galore. And you have another feast in the morning, and not too long after that, Badeau at some point retired to his room and came back down in a little bit more of a official pirate uniform. It's not as extravagant or night out as what he was wearing the evening before. And he goes, "Right, well, I have some business to attend to at the castle with the Hurricane King. Please finish what you are eating, take a doggy bag to go."
Wait, there's doggy bags?
And
You could have used one of those last night, dog.
has been a pleasure having all of you in my home until I am in port again, and you all receive proper, and he kind of makes eyes at you, Captain Cokenstache, invitations. I will see all of you again another time. And he walks out the door.
Sweet. What was my jeweled whatever worth, sir? So I know.
Roll me a D400.
Okay.
Yeah.
400.
It was the jewels of herpes. You now get herpes every time you touch it.
395. Oh shit.
That's high.
395 gold pieces.
Oh, all right. That's
But yeah, you guys have successfully survived, so to speak, your first free captain party, or I guess.
Ooh, I need to sell my sword. Or trade. I'll trade it.
I wonder what business card Jupiter gave. Because I only had 2. And I gave those 2 out. It was probably one of my suited cards. It's probably like a 4 of spades.
But you guys are free in Port Peril once again. It is the next day, and you can hear the shops starting to open and all of those things starting to happen. That is the city life. The fresh, bright air wafts down with a breeze through the street, and it's as if your party was kind of secluded in its own little world for a night.
I want to go back to the ship and tell Chandra everything that happened.
Okay.
And how they liked my little hat.
Captain, Gears, Jupiter, is there anything in particular? You would like
I'm
to
going
do?
to try to trade or sell my sword. because I need to buy some runes with some new money I might have.
Okay.
I was, there was something I wanted to do. I can't remember what it was.
With anything like selling, you think if you sold it outright, you'd probably get about 600 gold pieces, just because nobody's going to give you the normal value because they have to sell it for what it's worth, yada, yada, yada. I'll take a diplomacy roll, though, if you think you want to kind of haggle to get a little bit more.
Oh, yes, this is a one-of-a-kind special artifact worth more than its weight in gold.
You find a guy that'll give you 700 for it.
I can do 700.
Yeah, I need to trade mine in too, since it's a big jewel encrusted thingamajiggy.
Captain, I need to borrow 300 gold from the stash.
Let's see.
I'll take an
I don't
advance on my
see it.
next pay.
I don't see how that's an issue. Go right ahead.
Okay. So 1,000 gold. I'm buying 2 runes.
I got a 19 for my diplomacy. Well, 28 rather.
So real quick, Moss, do you have... You want to make the chat window a little bit bigger on the overlay, just so they can see the last couple numbers, because I think they
the
missed
rolls?
a few. Yeah, I think they missed a few as it went a little quickly.
Let me see.
So Jupiter, you have no problem getting 395 for your gem, since gems and all those things are a little bit more useful than a solid gold sword.
Lies.
I was hoping I could talk it up.
Even with a 28, it's just kind of all it's worth is that, but they'll give you full
price. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, full price for it.
Why are you still attacking me?
Because I already had you targeted. I'm just testing something out.
Just seeing how much damage his weapon does by itself now.
How bad did it kill you in one shot?
I didn't do that much damage. I just wanted to see if it was rolling right.
I don't know what I want to buy. I'm not going to buy anything.
Well, that's right, because we're going to probably end the session shortly, so you guys will have a week to kind of decide if there's anything else. Since what we're going to do is we will kind of fast forward to your lunch, and we'll just say the next day you probably spent shopping and or gathering information or something like that.
Definitely want to gather information.
On the evening of this day, you get a servant of the captain arrives at your ship and says that Captain Badeau would like to meet you at his favorite restaurant in Port Peril tomorrow for lunch.
Just do they have chicken fingers?
Well, I don't know if chickens have fingers, but they
fair
have
enough.
buffalo. They have buffalo wings plucked daily off the buffalo.
Very good. Acceptable.
Buffaloes have wings?
Acceptable.
Yes, and so he gives you a little. It's like
Yet again, I have yet another American Psycho moment where I look at the invitation card and just admire the font, the text.
and this one is one's almost nicer than the party invitation. That
Subtle
was
lettering.
Gold inlay.
I was gonna say it's this.
What is
It's
this,
this
bone?
real thick kind of piece of parchment paper. You know, it's almost like a linen. And I think of like a dollar bill, you can kind of stretch it and pull it.
100
And it
grain
does. It has like
linen
a
texture.
golden inlay with some purple design, and it has the name of the restaurant on there, party of Captain Badeau kind of thing.
We need to figure out who made this and have them give us some business cards.
Pirates use business cards, Captain.
Yeah, and there's you turn it one way, and there's like the side profile of his face, kind of real faded in the little linen piece, watermarked. Yeah,
If I hold it up to the light, does it have any non-counterfeit
Very
security
nice.
measures?
it's got like a slender like magnetic strip on it, you know.
They've already discovered magnetism. Very good.
It's the real deal. But yeah, with that, I think we are gonna end today's episode, mostly just because I got hit with a wave of being so tired all of a sudden. Like, God, I like all of a sudden I was like, why are my eyes so heavy? But I also feel like that is a great spot to end today's episode.
Agreed.
You guys have successfully navigated a nice social encounter with some free captains, gained yourself 16 infamy points.
Nice.
That's good. Do we get an idea of what the scale of infamy is? Do we have like infamy levels? How does that work?
It's on our ship.
Oh, is it? Here,
Yeah,
I'll just look at it.
16's a lot, ain't it?
It's a huge amount. Right now you are, so you got, so you have 10 right now because you got 3 from so you have 26.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will tell you next session.
We upgrade our cannons.
You will learn about where you kind of need to be in the realm of infamy to garner either favor from a free captain or present yourself on becoming a free captain. So
Okay.
So yes, that is what we will do. We'll start with the lunch with Captain Badeau, and we will go from
Captain
there.
Badeau.
your boy Higginbottom's not gonna like that, or whatever the hell his name is there, Captain.
Harrigan?
Yeah, that guy.
He can go stick himself with a spiky peg leg, as far as I'm concerned.
Where is the infamy?
But yes, let's go around here and tell chat where you can be found, what you got going on, tag the next person, leaving me for last, all that fun stuff. And you know, we'll start with Mega.
Hey, MegaReacts here. I'm still tired too, so I understand. We're tired. Pirates, fun. You can catch me here on what night is this? Tuesday night? Sundays, catch me on JT channel playing Rifts, and soon to be running a werewolf game. If you want to play werewolf, hit JT's channel up, hit up his Discord, come and audition, because we need players. No one wants to play a werewolf. What the hell's wrong with everyone? We're like giant furry killing machines that are saving the world by ripping faces off. How's that not fun? I don't know how that's not fun. Sounds fun to me. So yeah, I don't know. JT, you take it over. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's going to be the most fun. Y'all should join the Discord and sign up for the auditions. We got a few spots still open, and it's going to be on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. for only 6 sessions. It's a short game. It's going to be very intense short game, I'm pretty sure. And you guys should check it out. It'll be fun.
We're going to go into it hard, man.
Channel. We're going hard with this one.
Throwing you into the deep end, and we're just going to get to it.
Going full werewolf. You never go full werewolf unless you expect to die from the worm, which is exactly what's probably going to happen.
You go full furry.
Glorious way to go.
Full furry.
Furries ruin werewolf art. I tell you, it pisses me off.
Not Nicole Noel furry, but rip your face off furry.
Make
good kind of furry.
You make cool werewolf art. People say furry. Jesus fucking
not
furries,
con
man.
furry.
Furries ruined everything. Furries ruined everything.
Which I guess con furry is kind of
hate you,
furry too. If you
I don't hate anybody, but I hate y'all.
Anyhow, yeah, check out Rift Sunday. It's
Bullshit.
4 p.m. We have a lot of fun on that one too on my channel. And join the Discord. And also, I have an Amazon wish list with tons of cool stuff that I want and need. So if I want to hit that up, it's on that link tree there. And I will pass it to the strange-looking dog. What the fuck is that? A werewolf?
It's a fucking werewolf with a machine gun.
Looks like a jackal.
That's the games we're playing. Werewolves with machine guns.
Looks like a jackal.
Probably some titties in there if you want them too. Titties, machine guns, werewolves.
I'm gonna give it to Sailor Dog.
The title of the game right there: Titty Machine Gun Werewolf.
Super Biggles.
Superman. He's Superman.
He's super duper.
I'm fucking tired. I'm sorry.
Had to Google. You can find me at youtube.com/BigglesMets. We talk anime over there. I do have some Goblin Slayer TRPG on there. Who knows when that game will restart again. There is some Dungeons and Dragons on that channel as well. But yeah, I play video games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then talk about anime on Monday. So come by, say hi. Yeah, that's it. I pass it to the captain because he's the last one left.
Yar! Yeah, you can find me obviously here on Tuesdays. Remember, Fridays at 3 p.m. Fear of Ages Past. Come and check that out. That's when those videos are going to be dropping. We're going to just drop them as videos and kind of see how that goes. Just as a heads up. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Horror on the Orient Express. Monday nights. Go check that out over on Musical. Also, Star Wars Saturday nights. Go check that out. Also, Strange Aeons Friday night over on Musical. Also, yeah, Saturday mornings right here for Saturday morning map making. I'm working on a little challenge that Dreaming Tabitha and I are kind of sort of collaborating on. So I'm excited about that. And then just kind of keep an eye on, because I know JJ and I are kind of working on some stuff that we're excited to get going as well. Look out for announcements on those as well. Pass it over to JJ.
Yeah, I find myself with a lot more free time than I had planned to have after the events of the last week or so. But that means all good things, actually. I am about to finish this book that I started reading, and I think it's going to be my first book club video. So I'm going to do some short videos kind of discussing books, and if I find somebody else that has read the book or the series, we'll have them on too, and we'll give it an official grade, and we'll have some fun. I feel like that's always a fun thing to talk about. Maybe we'll build a nice little collection of books for people to read. But other than that, yeah, the one it's called A Blood Song by Anthony Ryan.
You ever read the Book of Swords?
I have it. I don't think I've read it.
I've
got a whole stack of books I've got to read. But other than that, you can find me this Friday and for a couple Fridays before Strange Aeon starts. We are doing a fun little mini adventure over on Moonskull, so check those out. I think that's going to be gothic comedy, I think is kind of the theme. And I will be playing an old cleric of the light, who would be a lot of fun. Other than that, yeah, check us out for Fear of Ages Past. Come join our Discord. Come hang out with us as we figure out some of the other fun stuff we have in our, I don't know, whatever chamber coming up stuff. Oh, jeez, I'm getting so freaking tired all of a sudden. But yeah, come hang out with us. We got some fun stuff going on. And yeah, we will catch all of you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
See you.
Go to the Mega Lore channel.
I
Look
don't
at
think
videos.
those are the Book of Swords I was talking about.